welcome to Cuesta Field, as it is the final home game of the season, and also of the career of three Mustang sophomores, as the Cuesta Cougars, who are near the top of the conference Gold Division, take on the team immediately behind them, the Santa Barbara Vaqueros. Good afternoon, I'm Randy Scoville. Pete Schuler will be joining us as well. The Vaqueros coming in to face the Cougars. They have a 9-4 conference record in third place, 25-9 overall. Cougars 22-9, 9-3. A great season being put together by Coach Allison Grant, who's returned to Cuesta. Cougars currently in second place behind Moore Park. Cougars played Moore Park here on Tuesday, split a doubleheader, and with the top two teams getting an automatic bid, some definite playoff implications in today's game. We're going to talk with Pete more about that a little bit later on. Cougars splitting that doubleheader with Moore Park 4-0 with a win, and then a loss 1-4. Santa Barbara, on the other hand, had a Tuesday doubleheader against Hancock. They split that one as well with scores of 8-6 and then losing 8-7, and then losing 3-6. These teams did play a doubleheader down in Santa Barbara on March the 22nd, and that was a split doubleheader. Santa Barbara winning the first game 8-0, and the Cougars the second one 3-1. And again, for the Cougars, even though they have 5 more conference games left after this, just the way the schedule is set up, this is going to be the final home game, as the 3 seniors, who we will talk a lot about today, all in the starting lineup today. Right now, it's going to be Danny Donnell, who is on the mound for the Cougars, as we take a look at the Cuesta defense. Kuhnhofer, Sanchez in left. Arnold, one of the seniors, in center. Huff Stetler, another senior, in right. Curry at third. Ibarra at short. Hood, the third senior, at second base. Solis at first. Gonzalez behind the plate, and Demi Donnell starting off with her first pitch, and it's going to be low for a ball to the leadoff hitter for Santa Barbara. That's going to be Sydney Towns, the center fielder. For Santa Barbara, it will be Towns in center, Jewell at second base, Salas at catcher. The third baseman, Vieira, Ogan at short, King, the designated player, Sorensen at first, Ballard in left field, Jackson is the right fielder, and Pullen, the pitcher, will be the flex player in this game, as a pitch taken to even the count at 1-1. We've got a good breeze, as we often do in the afternoon here, and it's to left for now. Dimensions, as you'll be able to see throughout the course of the day, 190 down the lines, 203 to the alleys, and 220 to straightaways. The 1-1 pitch off speed, swung and a miss by Towns, and the count runs to 1-2. Demi Donnell out of Hanford and Central Valley Christian, and getting the start today for Coach Allison Grant's team, coming back with a 1-2 to the leadoff. And it is a swing and a miss, and she starts out with a strikeout of Sydney Towns, so we have one away in the top of the first. Alyssa Ray Jewell, the second baseman out of San Ynez. There are a few local players on both teams that come from the immediate area out of San Ynez High School. The left-handed batter, and a predominantly freshman lineup for head coach Paula Congleton, who's in her 18th season as head coach of the Vaqueros. First pitch spinning low from Donnell. It's 1-0. Donnell for the year, this is going to be her 25th start of the year. Overall, a record of 18-6 for the Cougars. ERA tops on the team at 1.39 as her 1-0 pitch is taken a bit high. 2-0. We mentioned Allison Grant coming back after a 9-year hiatus. This is overall for serving as a Cuesta head coach, her 13th year overall. She is the school's all-time win leader with 331. 2-0, and a bunt taken high, and coming in from third base and putting that away will be Kristen Curry, who is also the flex player today, so a pop to rather shallow third base. Results in 2 up and 2 down for Donnell. Third batter is the catch-up, Monica Salas. Also plays outfield out of Dos Pueblos High School in Delita. And the first right-handed batter that we're seeing today. Top of the first, no score. And with 2 down, the base is clear. Donnell's first pitch is going to be right in there for strike 1. One pitch, foul back in the screen, 0-2. I'm glad you could join us here. Top of the first. Again, this is a completely student-run production. All the great camera work, all the production work being done by broadcast communications students here at Cuesta College under the direction of John Arno. John is actually also the director literally at the moment. 0-2 pitch swung on and missed, and Donnell puts down the Vaqueros in order, including a pair of strikeouts in the top of the first. Half an inning out of the way, it's Santa Barbara nothing, and the Cougars coming to bat. We'll be back after this on Cuesta TV.
So, Randy, we're back on here? Not yet?
Leading off the bottom of the first for Cuesta, number 3, Sabina Ibarra.
And we're here with the bottom of the first as Pete Schuler joins us. Cougars up to bat the first time as the Vaqueros went down in order. Sabina Ibarra, the shortstop, starts things off. Pitch to the outside from Poland. It's 1-0.
Ibarra's kind of a spark plug for the Cougars this year. Started off as a center fielder, moved to shortstop. Big transition for her.
1-0 pitch, and it is a strike 1-1. And again, a lot of flexibility I think needed for this Cougar team as Allison Grant stepping in to resume as the coach, all-time winningest coach, and Henry Villau obviously making a lot of contributions and really just trying to put together a good team. And this team is extremely competitive at this point.
At this point, they're right in the mix of things right here. Top 2 teams out of the conference go to the playoffs, and we have a half-game lead over Santa Barbara coming into this game. Half game behind Moore Park.
1-2 pitch is going to be lined right at and over the head of the left fielder Ballards. That's going to be extra bases for Ibarra, and she'll coast in with a stand-up double over the head of the left fielder, and the Cougars get things started with extra bases here in the first.
Getting Ibarra on the bases right away is a big key for the Cougars. She's got a lot of speed out there, and she's willing to take that extra base.
Second on the team in runs scored this year, not surprising, in the leadoff position, and also Ibarra picking up her 6th double of the year. As next up, Cheyenne Huffstetler, one of the 3 sophomores being honored today. Left-handed swinger looks at a pitch outside, 1-0. Huffstetler, one of the local players for the Cougars, out of Atascadero High School, former Greyhound. Well, I guess once you're a Greyhound, maybe you're always a Greyhound. 1-0 pitch with the infield coming in. Off the mark, pulling again, 2-0.
So right now, if they decide, Huffstetler's is a good swinging lefty. She's not one of those just a slap hitter, but she can slap and she can hit for power. So bringing that infield in.
Barr at second with no out, showing bunt. And the first strike rung up, 2-1.
All she has to do, if she wants a sack, all she has to do is get that ball on the ground because Ibarra's got a big jump coming off second base right there.
Huffstetler back in, the 2-1, and there's going to be put down, bunted, but foul. Count evens at 2-2. Also, Cougars after today have 5 road games, so they're going to put themselves in good position with a win today, but we'll talk a little bit more about after this pitch. A bit of an unusual schedule, but still sitting in a good position as the 2-2 swung on and missed, and that's the first out for the Cougars. So again, a little unusual. You end up with 5 conference games on the road, but still, like you say, especially the win today would be in a good position right behind Moore Park, trying to get one of those automatic bids.
That'd give them a game and a half lead over Santa Barbara. With if I had to play, 2 games are going to be at Pierce, who's winless, so that's a nice should be a pickup for him.
Amy Hood, another sophomore, fouls it off the Vaquero dugout on the third base side, goes to 0-1. Again, Ibarra over at second after the leadoff double with 1 down in a scoreless first inning. Taken high.
Needed to get that sacrifice down, but again, Ibarra on a base hit could still score from second there. But the Cougars don't have an easy road trip. They're going to start off with this weekend going to play Bakersfield and number 3 Mount Sac.
Hit high into center field. Ranging under it will be Towns. Tagging up is Ibarra, and she will make third base, but there's 2 down. That'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Demi Donnell, today's starting pitcher, a right-handed swinger out of Hanford, excuse me.
Now at the plate, pitcher Demi Donnell.
She is a handful up there, hitting a team high 426. And it's done a lot for this offense and with their pitching.
Ibarra waiting at third, first pitch. And that will catch the corner for a strike. Pullen getting the second most starts on the team. It's been her and Madison McNamee. Pullen coming in with a record of 10-4. ERA at 3.69. This one is going to be hit just foul by Donnell.
It's interesting that Coach Conkleton would want to come in with her, well, appears to be her number 2 statistically pitcher in a game of this magnitude for him right here.
Yeah, McNamee has pitched 50% more innings than Pullen, or perhaps trying to give her a little rest or keep her in the pen if needed later on in the game. 0-2 count, 2 down, runner at third. No score in the first. This one is going to be hit high and a little deep to the right side of center, but Towns gathers it in, and that will do it for the Cougars. They get a leadoff double from Sabina Ibarra, but unable to get her across the plate after one full. No score. Cuesta and Santa Barbara here on Cuesta TV. And we're back for the second inning here at Cuesta Field. Randy Scoville along with Peter Schuler, who not only is joining us here, wears many hats. Normally we would hear him as the public address announcer, but we're fortunate to have him with us. Also the sports information director at Cuesta and women's water polo coach. As we go to the top of the second, it's the cleanup hitter, third baseman Crystal Vieira. First pitch is a strike as Demi Donnell put down the Vaqueros in order in the top of the first, including a pair of strikeouts.
Now she's always around the plate, lots of movement on her ball.
0-1 coming in high with a little more velocity. That one is sent high and towards where cars may be driving at this moment. 0-2. I parked a good distance away, just in case.
Other side of campus.
Not quite that far, not today. 0-2, and this one set high, also over the screen. It may stay within the confines. No, it will not. It will go over the retaining fence, but not to the street. Stays 0-2. But it is a nice high visibility location here as countless students drive by the field every day. And also you can see it from 0-2. This one set high and a little closer to us and near the stands.
Well, each foul ball is getting closer to the field, so I guess the next one could be in play.
I think so. It's been gradual, or it might hit the top of the backstop next. And yet another 0-2. That one on the outside, and this one is going to be lifted into center field, and it's going to drop in front of Arnold for the first hit and the first base runner for Santa Barbara. It's a leadoff single in the second for Vieira. That'll bring up the shortstop, Delaney Ogan. Or it could be Delaney.
Now batting shortstop number 10, Delaney Ogan.
And it is Delaney. Delaney Ogan out of Carlsbad High School down in the San Diego area. And Santa Barbara draws from different parts of the state, different states, and even different countries as the bunt goes into the screen. 0-1. Santa Barbara actually listing a player from Sweden, as well as a couple other states. 0-1 pitch is going to be bunted, and it will be picked up. Coming in from third base is Curry. The sacrifice is affected by Santa Barbara. 5-3. That will advance Vieira to second with one away.
Wonder if she's a transplant from Solvang down there.
Could be.
Designated player number 25, Lindsey King.
Or came to visit there and said, oh, this seems familiar. I think I'll stay. Where's the nearest college? It's going to be Lindsey King, designated player, hitting in the number 6 spot. Runner at second, no score. And Donnell with a strike. King out of Baldwin Park High School and from Sierra Vista overall. Or actually, I think that's reversed. Sierra Vista High School in Baldwin Park. It's going to be fouled up into the screen, 0-2.
Both the previous games between these two teams were lower scoring affairs.
0-2, this one is sent sky high over to the left side of the infield as Ibarra will call off Curry and pull it down an important second out as Ogun remains over at second, and it will be up to Alexis Sorensen, the first baseman, hitting in the 7th spot for the Vaqueros. Now 2 down, runner at second.
So he expects both teams kind of playing for the one run. They got the leadoff guys put better on, try to go for the sack, and sometimes it's just getting that first one run across, and that makes a difference.
Well, last time Cougars were unable to pull off their sacrifice, Santa Barbara was, although the net effect so far for both is the same, as we've got a runner at second with 2 down. Ball foul back to the screen near us, 0-1.
So these two teams split a doubleheader in Santa Barbara, so the winner of this game will take the advantage if they end up tied in the seeding process.
0-1. It's going to be a ball 1-1. Snap throw back to Donnell. They don't have to worry about the runner. I know that you were mentioning earlier today that the Cougars also have some important tiebreakers.
Right. This would be the tiebreaker over Santa Barbara, and so
1-1 pitch is going to be lifted softly. Ibarra will come in from short, and that will do it for Santa Barbara. No runs on a hit with 1 left, an inning and a half out of the way. It's still scoreless. Cougars and Santa Barbara, bottom of the second after this on Cuesta TV. Bottom of the second at Cuesta Field. Randy Scoville along with Pete Schuler. Scoreless game. Cougars did get a leadoff double last inning by Sabina Ibarra. It will be the third of the sophomores to see this afternoon. That's Kiana Arnold, center fielder, and hitting in the number 5 position for the Cougars. Kiana out of Taft High School. The right-handed swinger looks at a pitch just a bit low, ball 1.
Kiana actually came here originally to play volleyball. Injury took her out of it last year, and she moved back into softball, and she's really blossomed this year. Almost 100 points higher hit on her batting average.
With some movement, catches the corner 1-1, and we've seen that. I know with especially the women's teams where there are some very versatile athletes, and especially if there's some roster issues, will step in and play an additional sport. 1-1. Off-speed swung on and missed, 1-2.
Softball was curious with the coaching changes if they're going to have those numbers. When we also have Maddie Zielinski, who started off in volleyball, went to basketball, and now she's at softball. 3 sports this year.
This one's going to be hit strongly into the gap, and it's going to be another extra base hit. Goes off the glove of Towns. And into second. Standing up will be Kiana Arnold. Second hit, second double of the game for the Cougars. So the Cougars start the second like they started the first with a leadoff double.
It was misplayed out there in center field, but I think she was going to have 2 all the way through.
Catcher number 18, Savannah Gonzalez.
Savannah Gonzalez next up, the catcher. Hitting in the 6th spot, Savannah. Coming to the Cougars from Delano High School.
And again, we're out of the batter's box before getting that ball down. Cougars need to slow down, get that ball down, get the runner over.
Arnold will head back to second. And now Coach Allison Grant calling her over to the coach's box on the third base side. Savannah Gonzalez getting instructions and stepping back in with the 0-1 count. Scoreless game in the second. This bunt came off the bat looking good, but rolls foul, 0-2. So nobody out, runner in scoring position, no score. And a game where, as Pete mentioned, the Cougars have really helped themselves in a big way in their final home game, positioning themselves for the postseason. And that will be a high strike 3 called on Savannah Gonzalez. Second strikeout for Poland, 1 down.
Here's another versatile athlete for the Cougars with Rebecca Hernandez.
Designated player Becca Hernandez.
Becca Hernandez, designated player, also can pitch and listed as a utility player out of Pismo Beach and Arroyo Grande High School.
She played water polo for us this fall and was all-conference selection there, so she's definitely a couple years out of softball but come back, and she's got a lot of power, a lot of athleticism up there.
Certainly you know her talents well from being her water polo coach. What position did she play for you? This one is going to be sent over to the left side, and the sacrifice will work. And they're going to throw back to try and keep Kiana Arnold close, but she is at third base with 2 down.
So same situation as last inning, and now we got to get Mariah Solis coming up at first base. Needs to move her over. One more base.
And Mariah Solis, just like Hernandez, out of AG High School, native of Arroyo Grande, and playing first base today, hitting in the number 8 spot. Scoreless game, 2 out, bottom of the second, runner at third, and the first pitch low for ball 1. Well high, 2-0.
Arnold has good speed at third base if there is a wild pitch or pass ball, but she's not normally a base stealer. But she does have that speed out there.
Two-0 pitch, that's going to be wrapped on over to second, but it will be handled by Jewell over to Sorensen. Cougars, again, unable to capitalize on a leadoff double after 2 full. It's still scoreless, Santa Barbara and Cuesta here on Cuesta TV. We're starting at the top of the third here. It's sophomore day at Cuesta Field. Cougars with an important conference matchup in the Western State Conference Gold Division against the Vaqueros of Santa Barbara City College, and with play-by-play action in the third inning, here's Peter Schiller.
All right, leading off for the Santa Barbara City Vaqueros, left fielder, number 11, Hope Ballard, steps in on the left side. Low pitch and a swing, strike 1. Again, Donnell staying around the plate. I don't know if she's had more than 1 or 2 balls on any batter here, so.
Took down the Vaqueros in order in the first and then give up the base runner in the second.
And pop foul, 0-2.
It's over endangering drivers in a different direction. Actually got pretty close to that car.
It is a softball, so maybe they'll be okay.
You hope. As we know, they can be moving with lots of force.
And again, that's going to end up in foul territory. Over those palm trees, which we've watched grow up here as little seedlings, and now up there in 30, 40 feet range.
Almost playable in the bullpen. Again, I've seen this facility take nice shape over the years, and I know you have as well.
Everything's growing here. And Donnell sets, a little half turn, and rise ball's a little bit high. Ballard holds off on that one. Counts even, 2-2.
Yeah, nice continual facility improvements. Of course, the scoreboards a few years ago, part of that.
And gets her swinging. So a little bit inside right there. And the right fielder, number 14, Maggie Jackson. Another batter from the left side. A lot of left-handed hitters in this Vaquero lineup here. Some pretty good team speed.
Jackson, one of those out-of-state players we talked about, left-handed hitting outfielder from Tempe, Arizona, Corona del Sal High School.
And Donnell steps out of the circle to make that catch right there. Little pop-up and City Towns. So she's going right through the outfield. Left fielder, right fielder, and here's the center fielder and leadoff batter.
Their leadoff, Sydney Towns.
Yeah, Towns out of Cabrillo High School, one of the couple of Lompoc players they have on the team.
Santa Barbara last year, they as it's strike 1 swinging to Towns. They suspended their program last year, didn't have enough players, and I guess last year with first place Helen Hancock, probably taking a lot of those Lompoc kids. Now they're getting them back. And strike 2, foul tip back into the screen. You know, those tweeners where Lompoc is halfway between Santa Barbara and Allen Hancock, sort of like Napomo here at Cuesta College is in between Allen Hancock and Cuesta. So those are the battleground schools.
Okay, and including Santa Ynez, where Vaqueros have picked up a player from as well.
Just missed inside. It's 1-2 to Towns. Towns struck out swinging her first at bat. Donnell half twist and delivery. And she rolls it up there, 2-2.
Weather's been really cooperative. A really nice day, not too hot. A little bit of that cooling breeze.
Yeah, it can change here as we're right down the highway from the ocean.
Oh yeah.
It got awful cold, awful quick here. And the fouls went into one of our palm trees. Easy on that palm tree there. So it's still, count remains 2-2.
Well, it's a distinctive feature along with the hills and Camp San Luis and the rest of the Cuesta campus over the outfield fence.
One of the best hitting backgrounds in the state for sure. And Town stays alive, just gets a piece of it. And the count's 2-2. Twos across the board, 2-2, 2 outs. Top of the third. And we got another changeup, doesn't quite make it to the plate, and the count is full. Yeah, the best way to stop speed is keep it off the bases. So this is a big pitch right here for Donnell. And Kuhnhofer Sanchez takes it in foul territory, and that's the end of the top of the third. No runs, no hits, and Donnell sets him down in order. So far, only one base runner off a hit for the Vaqueros.
And we're back. It's bottom of the third inning, and the Cougars trying to get a solid hold on second place in the Western State Conference Gold Division, and also set themselves up with the tiebreaker over Santa Barbara for eventual postseason play, because it's going to be the top two teams that go. Cougars currently in second, Vaqueros in third, and Moore Park just slightly ahead of the Cougars in first place right now, rather. Cougars will send up 9-1 and 2 in the third, and with the play-by-play, here's Peter Schuler.
Well, Cougars coming up right now. Cassie Kuhnhofer Sanchez. Another girl started off in volleyball in the fall, redshirted there, and now here at softball. She's taking over left field for the Cougars, and has good speed there from the left side, more of a slap hitter.
Third, center fielder Cassie Sanchez.
And Cassie, one of a pair of Cougars from Palmdale.
So far the Cougars have been getting some hits, but they have not translated into runs. At least they're hitting the ball hard.
Cougars have had leadoff doubles in the first two innings, but have not been able to advance them across the plate. Sabina Ibarra got as far as third in the first inning.
And so did Arnold last inning. So funny hop, but fielded without too much of an effort. And Ibarra's back up. The left fielder's backing up a little bit. Now, doesn't have the greatest stature, but obviously has the power. She hit it over the left fielder's head last time for the double, and they're back towards the warning track now. And again, same spot, right in the gap. That should be another double for Ibarra. And she comes in standing up.
Showing nice speed around the base pass. The lone player this year from San Luis High School, but one of half a dozen San Luis County players, and really contributing in this game so far at second with just the one out.
Let's see if they have Huffstetler swing away, Cheyenne Huffstetler. And the Cougars get the advantage of a wild pitch. And Ibarra's at third.
And again, as we've talked about, this is the third time now the Cougars have gotten somebody to the third, but the first time they've done it with just an out.
And a swing. And it's 1-1 right now to Huffstetler. Infield way in for the Vaqueros.
Scoreless game, in a game that looks like runs will probably be in pretty short supply, and as you were mentioning earlier, that was the case when they played the doubleheader last month.
So the curveball right there kind of jammed Huffstetler, and it's 1-2. Rise ball's up, 2-2. Pulling sets, wind's kind of getting her hair whipping around a little bit, but that hat's helping out. And changeup gets Huffstetler. And it's 2 outs. Amy Hood. Hood's hitting .301 on the season, but they're down 230s over conference, so she needs to bring up her conference batting average. Now's a good time.
One of the sophomores being honored today started out with a fly out to center field.
And 6-3 put out.
So for the Cougars, once again, it's going to be no runs on a hit with 1 left. That sounds familiar. That's been the first 3 innings so far, and with 3 full out of the way, we have no score. Cuesta and Santa Barbara City College. We're back with the 4th after this on Cuesta TV.
All right, we're back at Cuesta Field. This is Pete Schuler with Randy Scoville here at Cuesta Softball. The 9th ranked in the region, Santa Barbara City Vaqueros. And your Cuesta College Cougars. Vaqueros ranked 9th in the region, but currently in 3rd place in the Western State Conference, behind Moore Park Raiders and Cuesta Cougars. Batting now for the Vaqueros, second base Alyssa Ray Jewell. Ball's low and outside, ball 1. Jewell's hitting .422 on the season. She flew out to 3rd base last time up. And she is one of those speedsters on the Vaqueros, 12 steals on the year. And now ball 2 high.
And Jules, that player we were talking about before from kind of the tweener areas out of Santa Ynez High School. And one of 4 left-handed hitters on the roster.
And she just gets enough of that, and that's diving play by Arnold. And that's an easy double right there. So right into the gap for Jewell. And it brings up Monica Salas, hitting .430. She's highest batting average on the team. Leads the Vaqueros with 34 RBI. So duck on the pond, leadoff double. Great attempt by Kiana Arnold. Could not make that catch though. And we should say a nice backup by Cassie Kuhnhofer Sanchez, making sure that didn't go to 3 bases.
Well, if you're just joining us, where you been? But more importantly, in a scoreless game, it's not a case where there's been very few base runners. Both teams have been putting runners on and getting them in scoring position. Just nobody's been able to deliver yet.
And there's a nice sac bunt. That's going to get Jewell over to 3rd. So there you go. Have your .430 hitter dropping down the sacrifice bunt successfully. Again, even if you're hitting .430 in this game with runs at a premium, you just want to get that runner over and hope the next person up can help you out. So Crystal Vieira, also very solid at the plate, leads the team with 2 home runs. She's second on the team with 33 RBI, and there's 1 waiting out there at 340 as their batting average coming in. So a little high and outside, ball 1. Catcher Savannah Smalls Gonzalez wanted to check in with plate umpire Frank Stone, make sure that was where that pitch was. And he said, nope, it's still a ball. And this one down low into the dirt. Nice. Gonzalez digs that one out for ball 2. So a lot of speed at 3rd. 2-0 to Crystal Vieira. The pitch from Demi Donnell. Slap foul. Head coach Paula Conklin had to step out of the way right there.
So far, though, Demi Donnell for the Cougars and Rebecca Poland for the Vaqueros, though, been able to get themselves out of any trouble. It's been a nice pitching duel so far.
Going to the 4th inning, both teams just starting into their second trip through the batting order, and see how they can make the adjustments. Just pops it up. Ibarra chases that down. Now it's Delaney Ogan
Shortstop, Delaney Hogan.
Hogan sacrificed last time up. And she comes in hitting 240. She also has 2 home runs on the year, so she has a bit of power. And strike on the outside corner. Demi Donnell puts one through. And fouled up, back out of play. And over towards the Fine Arts Department. 0-2 on Hogan. And so here's the squares the bunt, brings it back. And the count remains 0-2 as fouls off on the first base side. The foul ball apparently landed directly in the trash can behind us.
It's a good shot.
You got to call that shot, don't you? And the rise ball gets her. And out of the jam for Donnell. Leadoff double, sacked over to third and stranded for the Vaqueros. Their best opportunity to score so far.
Still no score.
And we head to the bottom of the fourth. Cuesta will be sending up Donnell, Arnold, and Gonzalez.
All right, we'll be back with the bottom of the fourth after this on Cuesta TV.
Going with Demi Donnell, Kiana Arnold, and Savannah Smalls Gonzalez, the catcher. Demi Donnell leading the team in hitting, 427, so she has an opportunity to help herself again, which she has all season. She leads the team with RBI as 26 and that 427 average, one of the best all time at Cuesta. And she rips one right at the shortstop.
Made good contact and unfortunately unable to help her own cause, but has been doing a nice job on the mound in this scoreless game as both she and pulling on the mound for the Vaqueros have been able to get out of a lot of base runners in scoring position.
And here's one of our sophomores here, Kiana Arnold, feted earlier in the game, or just prior to the game, and the first ball is through the wickets, both through the by the catcher and the umpire. So that's a nice scoring pitch for pulling, but it's ball one.
Yeah, last time up she had one of the 3 hits for the Cougars. They've all been doubles, the other 2 from Sabina Ibarra hitting leadoff today.
And she fouls one back, 1-1. Like we said, Arnold does have good speed. Kiana has 4 doubles this year, a pair of triples, and 6 triples in her 2 years at Cuesta, so she has no problem getting that bat out there out in the yard and running those bases. Again, not a big base stealer, but she definitely does take that extra base when she gets an opportunity.
When you talk about those triples, I know during the honors before the game mentioned she's one of the all-time leaders at Cuesta.
Most exciting play in softball, right, is the triple?
I like it.
And the count's even. The ball hits the backstop on the fly, and it's 2-2.
That's great when you have somebody with some speed who's going for 3. That's I agree. It's a very exciting play.
She's just done everything for this team. I mean, she's played catcher, third base, outfield, and she strikes out right there. So Cougars 2 down, and the catcher Savannah Gonzalez. Gonzalez struck out last time at bat.
Coming up to hit.
Again, as an opportunity where the Cougars were looking for the sacrifice and ended up getting a strikeout. That's happened twice to them with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, with the strikeout of Arnold, that's the 4th one for Poland, too, today.
And Gonzalez will definitely be swinging away here. And she does, and that's going to be a base hit up the middle. Hits the lip of the outfield and it pops up. And so runner on first base. And Rebecca Hernandez coming up. Rebecca's batting average about 240, but she's got a lot of power. And again, we were talking about her having a layoff where she concentrated in water polo, all CIF water polo player at Royal Grande, and then all conference here at Cuesta. So she's just back to softball, and that athleticism shows through. But that batting average has been climbing all season long.
Had a sacrifice last time up. Also that hit from Gonzalez, 4th for the Cougars, but the first single after the 3 doubles.
So as Hernandez continues to improve all the way through the season. We'll see what she can do here with pulling. And she chases a ball low and in the dirt, so it's 1-1. So,
well, Pullen's look good. We mentioned the number 2 pitcher by quite a ways as far as the number of innings pitched. One of those out-of-state players out of the Vegas area from Henderson, Nevada.
So it's 1-2 with a called strike from umpire Frank Stone. You know, we talked about she already has 4 strikeouts today, and she's averaging less than 4 on the year per 7 innings. So her stuff's been really working against the Cougars today. And ball is high, and Gonzalez takes advantage of the high changeup and steals a base for the Cougars. So a little speed there from the catcher.
Some good hustle there. And really, a nice play in that, either you're going to get somebody in scoring position or you just reset next inning.
And we will reset next inning as the changeup gets Hernandez, and that's strike 3. But again, the Cougars, 4 straight innings, runner in scoring position, unable to capitalize. And we'll head to the top of the 5th, and Randy Scoble will return as your play-by-play guy.
All right, we'll be back with that after this on Cuesta TV.
Here we are, top of the 5th.
Top of the 5th.
The designated hitter for the Vaqueros.
Designated player, Lindsey King.
Number 25, Lindsey King. King popped up to shortstop last in her first at bat. Comes in hitting .212. Ball just outside. Freshman out of Baldwin Park. Made her way up to Santa Barbara, as many of these players have. And she rips one foul. One hops. Actually, that was right over into the bullpen on the fly. So straightens that one out. The Cougars could have been in trouble.
That was a rope. That just, stayed a few feet off the ground and didn't dive until made contact in the bullpen.
And there on the outside corner, Danelle. Not going to give a second straight pitch to turn on. Right there to King. King does have a home run on the year. And I'm sure that's why she's in there. She is the designated player. She's there just to hit. And the ball's a little bit high outside, 2-2.
Listed as an infielder defensively.
Danelle with a little half turn and the delivery. And again, King way out in front of it, but ripped it foul. I made it all the way over the street the other way.
That's right, it's in that other lot.
So
sure, some students parked there and said, oh, they'll never hit it here. Usually, that would be true.
And here comes Danelle, the delivery, 2-2 again. A little bit high, ball 3. Full count, 0-0 score, top of the 5th. Leadoff batter for the Vaqueros, Lindsey King. Just misses. You can see the catcher, Savannah Gonzalez, really trying to frame that there. So just a bit outside if we want to use that old line.
It never gets old.
Alexis Sorensen.
And Alexis Sorensen, she also flew out to shortstop her first time at bat. And there's a small mound conference out there. So,
yeah, Sorensen actually a rarity for this Santa Barbara team. We're getting, as I said, people all around the state, but as you said, usually it's people from Southern California making their way up to Santa Barbara. She came down from San Mateo and Hillsdale High School, one of the few, in fact, I believe, only Bay Area player. They do have another player, Vieira's from Roseville, but otherwise usually from the south, and again, a lot of out of state as well.
So Sorensen comes in hitting .233. And she also, as I said, flew out to shortstop her first time out to end the second inning. Now she has a runner on for her with King. No outs. Fouled off. Mariah Solis makes chase. And just could not hold on to it. She slid it almost into her own dugout. Good effort by Mariah, but unable to hold on to it.
Yeah, she really had to move even to have a play on it because it dove on her so quickly.
No, not all's lost. Donnell's ahead in the count, 0-1 to Sorensen. And coming in on the sack bunt, gets it in the air. Great play by Kristen Curry, and tries to double up King at first base, but King rushes back just in time. And so here's Hope Ballard. Ballard struck out her first time up.
Really nice play in anticipation by Curry. Thought they'd have a better chance at the double play, but King was pretty heads up at first.
Ball's low. You know, Curry coming there, a solid 5'8", used all of that in another few inches, make sure that ball did not get over her head. That could have been trouble if because she was on a hard charge on that sacrifice. And Sorensen got it up in the air and almost over her head. Another sacrifice bunt. King will move over. And Donnell fields it over and over to Amy Hood, and that's 2 down. So successful sacrifice by Sorensen, or by Ballard, and that brings up the right fielder, Maggie Jackson. Jackson popped out to first base her first time. As we take a little break there as shortstop Sabina Ibarra ties her shoe.
Yet another runner in scoring position in a game that's had many, even though we're scoreless, although Donnell has put down the Vaqueros in order twice this game.
And first pitch, just a changeup down the heart of the plate. And Jackson taking all the way. I said, Donnell is not somebody who walks people. She is always around the plate. Less than 1 walk per game on the year, and she's up 0-2 now to the number 9 hitter, Maggie Jackson. And Jackson lifts one up in the right field, and the all-conference right fielder, Cheyenne Huffstetler, there to collect it to end the bottom of the 5th.
And overall for the Vaqueros, they strand 1, no hits as King got on a walk. We're still scoreless, so we're going to go to the bottom of the 5th and more with Pete after this on Cuesta TV.
Cuesta College versus the number 9th ranked Santa Barbara City Vaqueros. It's a 0-0 tie. Cougars starting off with Solis. Mariah Solis, the first baseman. So Mariah's hitting .203 on the year coming into this game. She's struggled during conference. Was hitting one of the Cougars' big hitters early in the season, but now hitting .203. Still leads the team with 13 walks. A very patient hitter. And she takes ball 1 in the dirt.
You mentioned Santa Barbara overall ranked 9th, I believe 8th in RPI, so the Cougars get a chance to improve things if they can come away with a win today. And I believe Moore Park is in the number 10 spot. The Cougars 18th, I think.
Well, there's so much is in that RPI that weighs very heavily when they come into the seeding. But the first criteria, as always, is where you finished in conference. So it's ball 2 to Solis. We have Solis, 8-9-1. Cassie Kuhnhofer Sanchez in the on deck circle. And Solis chases one in the dirt.
Well, yeah, the Cougars in second between Moore Park and Santa Barbara. Really kind of seems to be those 3 teams for the 2 spots. The thing as far as the Cougar schedule coming up, and you alluded to this earlier, is all the teams remaining that they're playing are below them in the standings. They're done playing Moore Park and Santa Barbara after today.
Right, all those teams have to, Moore Park has to do, if they all do their job, they're done playing each other. Ventura, of course, is always a threat. They're looming out there. They're at 500 in conference, but they're also the 4th 20-win team in the conference. So they're all looking for one of those 2 automatic bids out of the conference. And there's Solis. Base hit up the middle. And again, that trademark patience. It takes her 5th pitch, and then she gets her hit. And the Cougars still playing for that 1 run.
Yeah. And the Cougars, again, coming up with a hit in every inning so far. They've had exactly 1 in each inning, and they've stranded the previous 4. We'll see if things go differently here in the 5th.
And they're going to take Solis out for a moment. You can re-enter a player after they've been substituted. And so what we have right here, we have Sarah Sandoval coming in there, a pinch runner. Sandoval is a little quicker on the bases. She's second on the team with 4 stolen bases, and kind of a specialist for the Cougars.
Maddie Zelensky.
And now here's Maddie Zelensky. We talked about those multi-talented players. Began the year as a redshirt in volleyball, then went and played part of the basketball season before stepping back out off the hard court and onto the diamond to make sure she was ready for softball. So here's Maddie Zelensky stepping in for Kuhnhofer Sanchez, and we have a pitching change.
We got all sorts of changes. We had no changes, and then all of a sudden the dominoes have fallen.
So I guess both coaches after 4.5 innings were feeling that what they were doing was not getting them where they wanted to. Pullen actually was having a real nice game, but she gave up a base hit every inning, as you said, but has kept the Cougars off the scoreboard. And now with Sarah Sandoval, good speed, as we talked about, stepping on to first base for the Cougars, replace Solis. And Zelensky, a right-handed batter, coming over to take over for Sanchez, the left-handed slap hitter. So a little bit more power with Zelensky.
Sarah Sandoval running, as Pete mentioned, out of Morro Bay High School. The one-time Pirate, and the new pitcher for Santa Barbara has been their primary pitcher, we've been alluding to throughout the day, Madison McNamee, out of Cabrillo High in Lompoc, as McNamee is going to come in here in the 5th inning.
Let's go, Maddie! Let's go!
So here's Zelensky. I think both teams again maybe working for that 1 run.
Get the shit out of that ball! Let's go!
The way this game is going, there may be 1 run, especially the way both pitchers have done a nice job of getting themselves out of situations that had runners in scoring position.
So McNamee will face Zelensky, who's hitting 211, which is a jump as Sanchez was hitting 163 coming in the game. So she gets the sacrifice bunt down, and there she goes, does her job. Zelensky comes in, gets the sack down. Sandoval with 1 out is at second base. And we have Sabina Ibarra, who's had a pair of doubles off of Pullen. And now she has to face McNamee. We'll see how the Vaqueros adjust.
Sabina Ibarra.
Like we were talking about, McNamee again had pitched 50% more innings than Pullen coming in, 124 entering this game, 15-5 record overall, her 25th appearance, and her 7th in relief.
First pitch, a rise ball high, well over Ibarra's head.
79 strikeouts, 41 walks, but the ERA much lower than Pullen's at 2.26.
And the delivery pops it up foul, and it's 1-1. Just right behind us here, but behind home plate. Wind's gusting it a little bit more now as we get those afternoon offshores picking up. Flag's kind of pointing straight at San Luis Obispo out of Morro Bay. Still a beautiful sunny day.
Well, that's something we definitely notice here on campus, that that wind comes trucking down 1 in the afternoon, and you feel it. And like you say, you can see that flag in left field atop the scoreboard, and see if somebody can catch that jet stream.
Ibarra watches one come down the middle, 2-2. Ibarra again, like with a pair of doubles today, and she is came into this game hitting 250. And high and inside. All 3. Now, it's an interesting thing this year. This team really takes a lot of pain. Amy Hood set a school record, leads the state with 10 hit by pitches. Ibarra would have tied the old record. She's been hit 7 times this year. So a couple of ball magnets at the top of the order for the Cougars. And just tips the rise ball and stays alive. 3-2 again. So the Cougars are finding a way to get on base today and all season long. The bar has so far been hitting rather than being hit today with a pair of doubles. And the rise ball just too tempting. And that is strike 3.
Let's go, 1-3.
And 2 outs for the Cougars. Brings up right fielder, all conference outfielder Cheyenne Huffstetler. Sandoval stranded at second right now. Huffstetler watches one hit the corner on the outside. And 0-1.
Yeah, McNamee able to do something Pullen was not, and that was retire Sabina Ibarra, who had those 2 doubles in the first 2 at-bats.
The rise ball and Huffstetler showing good patience. And she lays off that one, and it's 1-1. As he gets one and pops it up. Oh, behind us. That was almost a little too close for comfort.
Near our production crew, but they've got a canopy. They seem to be fine.
So it's 1-2.
They're a calm
2
bunch.
outs. Sandoval with good speed at second. Base hit should plate her. And just off the end of the bat. Cue balled off to the Santa Barbara dugout. And it remains 1-2. Just lifts it to left field. But Ballard is there and the Cougars are retired. So Cuesta again, runner left in scoring position. The score remains 0-0 as we head to the top of the 6th. Santa Barbara will be setting up
After 5, still no
top
score.
of the order. Towns, Jewell, and Salas.
And we'll be back with that. The 6th coming up. Scoreless game still at Cuesta Field on Cuesta TV. Sitting Ray Scoville along with Pete Schuler. Still a scoreless game. Demi Donnell has been going the entire way for the Cougars today, as it will be, as Pete mentioned, the top of the order coming up for Santa Barbara City College, and that will be Sydney Towns out of Cabrillo High School. As Sanchez is still in left field, we do believe, though Zielinski did hit for her previously. This pitch is hit high, and very easy play for Kristen Curry over near third base. And that will be out number 1 of the 6th inning. As far as Santa Barbara's concerned, they have gotten a couple hits. They've had base runners in 3 innings, and Donnell has put the Vaqueros down in order on a couple occasions. She has a total of 4 strikeouts. Alyssa Ray Jewell next up. Popped out to third and then had a double, got as far as third base, which, again, in a scoreless game, we know that's as far as anybody's gotten today. Looks at a ball, it's 1-0.
The Cougars reset their defense to the original standing. Back at first base is Mariah Solis, and in left field is Cassie Kuhnhall for Sanchez.
1-0 to Jewell. And was looking to put it down. Took the pitch high, 2-0. It looks like we don't have a clear view, but there is somebody staying loose as needed in the Cougar bullpen.
That would be Rebecca Hernandez.
Donnell off the mark, and again, surprisingly behind in the count and also well behind in the count, 3-0. She did give up a full count walk to Lindsey King at the start of last inning and then got the next 3 after that. 3-0 delivery, and that one's on the outer part of the plate. It's a strike, 3-1.
Jewell made the run towards it, but I think she was taken the whole way there.
Wind up from Donnell, 3-1 pitch. And that one out of the zone. Second walk she's given up, in this case with 1 out. In the 6th inning, Jewell's aboard, and that'll bring up catcher Monica Salas, who has struck out and sacrificed.
Catcher Monica Salas.
Salas hitting in the number 3 position and the team's top hitter with a .430 average, one of a half dozen players who's played in every game for Santa Barbara City. Donnell bounces back, starts off with a strike. And those gusts that Pete was talking about, picking up again here in the top of the 6th. 0-1, a little bit low. Throw back over to first on the snap throw. They get Jewel back.
Lisa. That could have been trouble right there, especially with some of the Jewel's speed.
It was a nice stretch to pull it in. 1-1. One delivery is low. Runner bluffs and another throw over to first. So just trying to keep Jewel on her toes. 2-1 count. And again, every base mattering as we're getting near the end of this game, at least as far as the scheduled portion of the game. 2-1 count. Off-speed swung on and missed. And once again, Jewel lingering off first base draws the 3rd throw of this at-bat. 2-2 count.
As we said, this game is playing up to what it needs to be right here. These two teams are half game apart in the standings. Vital win for both teams.
And also, as you mentioned earlier, whoever wins this game also has the tiebreaker over the other because they split the previous doubleheader they had as the 2-2. Hit off the retaining fence on the left side. Stays 2-2.
We're getting down to the point where softball becomes chess, as both coaches are going to try to figure out using substitutions, as with the Cougars did last time, pinch runners and pinch hitters.
2-2 pitch, hit high, hit foul, hit over into the road alongside the ballpark. Still 2-2. Okay, if you haven't been out to the field and you're seeing it as part of the broadcast, just a great venue right off of 1 on the edge of campus where the other athletic facilities are. Full count now to Salas. Cleanup hitter on deck, that's Crystal Vieira. Right now, the full count to Salas with Jewel over at first. Scoreless game, top of the 6th. Full count delivery from Donnell. It's right over the plate and it's hit high over into left center, ranging over and unable to get it to it as it goes off the fence is Arnold. Now it's going to take a carom into the outfield, and the way things are going, they're going to wave Jewel around, and she is going to be able to score well ahead of the throw. So the ball taking an unfortunate carom for the Cougars off the fence, and that's going to lead to the first run of the game. Santa Barbara on top, 1-0.
You saw that ball just kept on carrying and carrying. At first it looked like Arnold was going to have a shot at it, but it just kept on carrying away from her into the hit the ball on the fly. And Jewel obviously waiting to make sure nobody caught it, but once she saw it hit that fence, she turned on the afterburner and came around for the run.
Well, it seems like Arnold got a decent jump on it. I'm not sure how much the wind helped that one as well, but tried to get to it, and then all of a sudden there it was bouncing off the fence and then coming back towards the infield. And with good wheels with Jewel, they had her going all the way. Scores on the hit by Salas, who's now over at second. So we finally have a score in this game in the top of the 6th, still 1 away. Crystal Vieira had the first hit for the Vaqueros, a leadoff single in the 2nd, then popped out to short. She's going to hit this one over the screen and back over near our home plate camera.
So there was Salas's team leading 35th RBI off that double. She's done a lot for this Vaquero offense this year.
0-1. This one hit high near the line in left field, ranging over. It's Kuhnhofer Sanchez. Pulls it in for the 2nd out. With 2 down, Delaney Ogun, the shortstop, next up. Sacrifice and a strikeout.
Now batting, shortstop, Delaney Ogun.
Demi Donnell trying to bring the 6th to a close. First run surrendered in this game. 3 hits altogether for the Vaqueros and a couple walks that have come over the last couple innings. Ogun shows bunt for a second, pulls back. First pitch low, lost for a moment, and then Gonzalez will send it over to third. But very alertly, Salas, catcher herself, able to advance ahead of the throw. Saw that Gonzalez did not have Ryan and immediately and knew from experience that there was going to be enough time to get to third. The 1-0 is high, 2-0.
But Danelle, for the first time this game, has been not ahead in the count. She's been laboring a little bit more this inning.
Had that walk to Jewel early on, where she started that one down 3-0. At least gets a strike here to make it 2-1.
Let's talk about how those leadoff walks will come back and get you. It was a 1-out walk, but
big cut, 2-2. So Danelle a strike away from getting out of this one.
one thing that the Vaqueros have is great speed on the base pass, and once they get on, it's always a threat to score.
Two, and that is a called strike 3 as Danelle picks up her 5th strikeout, but the Vaqueros get their first run. They leave one. They were also aided by a walk and also had the double from Salas as we go to the bottom of the 6th. The scoreless tie's been broken. Santa Barbara 1, Cuesta nothing. Bottom of the 6th after this on Cuesta TV.
Here come the Cougars.
Here we go, bottom of the 6th inning. Cougars down for the first time.
3-4-5.
Exactly, 1-0 score as Vaqueros get the run in the top of the inning. Amy Hood, one of the 3 sophomores being honored today to start things off in the 3 spot. Like Pete's saying, 3, 4, and 5. Hood has flied out to center and grounded out to short. And featuring McNamee, who came on in relief of Pullen last inning, looks at a ball coming in high. Solis had reached on a single to start the 5th, and at that point the hook came. The Cougars were unable to cash in, as the score for the Cougars in all previous 5 innings has been no runs on a hit, 1 left. Every single inning. That's outside. It's 2-0 to Hood. Hood coming into the game just a bit over 300 at 301, and also the state leading ball magnet, as Pete had said earlier. He's taken 10 for the team this year. Takes a big cut at a 2-0 pitch and lifts it foul over by one of the palm trees, 2-1. McNamee, the primary pitcher, who is held back in relief by Coach Paula Congleton out of Cabrillo High School, but behind in the count now to Hood, 3-1. In fact, you can see Hood's number along with those of Arnold and Huffstetler on the right center fence. Been noticing that throughout the game, I'm sure. And what do you know? Been hit for the 11th time this year. Whatever is necessary to get on base, and Amy Hood delivers. She is a leadoff base runner in the 6th. And in fact, that is the 5th inning out of 6 that the Cougars have gotten the leadoff batter aboard. Makes you wonder what the state record is. The way she's been going. Ball fouled off by Demi Danelle, the starting pitcher today, 0-2, has flied out to right center and hit a smoking line drive to Ogun at short, her last time up in the 4th. 1-0 ball game, Cougars down, but the tying run at first with nobody out in the bottom of the 6th.
Again, this game right here, we're not going to take the bat out of Danelle's hand.
0-1, what went outside, and
she's going to have to help herself right here.
Hood was watching that one to see if Salas was going to be able to hang on to it, and did.
Hood would love a free base right now, another free base after getting beamed. If one gets away from Salas.
McNamee 1-1 pitch. That's outside. 2-1, trying to work that outer part of the plate, but again, you have a case of the opposite number, the other pitcher. No one to look for, and probably knowing what McNamee's thinking right now. I'm having a pretty good idea. 2-1 pitch. That one comes inside. Donnell gets around that one, gives it a good ride, but foul down the left field line to even the count at 2-2. Showdown of the pitchers here, Madison McNamee and Debbie Donnell, the two alliterative ones, the 2-2 pitch, and it's going to be sent back into the screen, stays at 2-2. McNamee's 2-2, and it's going to be hit right up the middle to McNamee, going back over to second, but it deflects off, and that's talking about a free base. Not only is Hood going to be safe, but she's going to go all the way to third on the error over at short, and that is going to allow the Cougars to have runners at the corners and nobody out.
Wasn't a bad throw at all by McNamee. Just, I think she took her eyes off the ball.
Was thinking too.
Hood came in, took her eyes off the ball, was going in another direction. They had an easy 2 right there.
And Allison Grant over talking to the umpire, so has something in mind here. At minimum, looks like somebody to run for Donnell.
Coming out there, I believe that is Ashlyn Scott. A little more speed on the bases. Hopefully avoid a double play or anything somewhere. So there's Ashlyn Scott.
Ashlyn Scott with a number change to number 5 out of Bakersfield High School. Again, best opportunity either team has had offensively in this game. Runners at the corners, and most importantly, nobody out for the Cougars, down 1 in the 6th. And that brings up another sophomore, and that's Kiana Arnold. Leadoff double in the 2nd and struck out in the 4th, but facing McNamee for the first time. First pitch is low as Scott lingering off of first base.
Look at that ball in the dirt. Ashlyn Scott has nobody covering first base as the second baseman goes right behind the pitcher to make sure that there's nothing goes into center field.
1-0 pitch, not too close. It's high. And again, there is an opportunity to put somebody on before loading things up. Hood at third base, hit by a pitch, and then advancing 2 bases on the error. And Scott running for Donnell over at first, 2-0 pitch, sent back to the screen by Arnold, 2-1.
We'll see if they, interesting to see if they try to send Scott with 2 outs and see if they, see if they can get away with Hood sneaking down from third base.
2-1, here comes the bunt, and right to third, and Hood get caught off the bag, but, well, at least retreat, so the run doesn't score. Nobody's out, but an alert play in that Vera had it, and then a very adept 180 by Hood to get back and effectively take the play away from Vieira because there was nobody covering.
So there it is, a fielder's choice right there. I mean, you got to make a choice. You give Hood the chance, you can play for the out, and they're playing for that 1-run game right there.
So that loads them up. The force is on with Savannah Gonzalez, the catcher, coming up. A strikeout, a single, and a stolen base in the 4th. Again, no one out, 1-run game. First pitch from McNamee is high.
Infield way in right now.
Especially this late in the game.
Gonzalez can put the barrel on the ball here. We could have a couple runs right there. Good speed at Scott at second. Arnold, good speed on the bases all the way around for the Cougars with Arnold at first too.
1-0, and again, Cougars, especially with nobody out, can afford to be patient at the plate. 2-0. Gonzalez looking over to Allison Grant. McNamee looking into Salas. And here comes the 2-0, and that one, as you would figure, was right in there for 2-1. Did not want to get down 3-0 in this situation, or most any situation.
By the perfect pitch she could pick right there, right in the corner and right at knee height, outside and low. Not much Gonzalez could have done with that, even if she swung.
2-1, and McNamee's coming right at it. 2-2 count now, bases loaded. 1-0 game, nobody out, bottom of the 6th. And again, remember, it's softball, so think of it as like the 8th. Two-two pitch, big swing and a miss. May have gotten just a piece of it, but the tip was caught, and Gonzalez is going to be down for the first out of the 6th.
And here's Becca Gonzalez right now.
Now the plate designated player Becca Hernandez.
So Becca Hernandez with a sacrifice and a strikeout last time around. Again, bases still juiced. 1 down, 1-run game. As McNamee got herself out of that one, big swing and a miss by Hernandez. She was going for it there, 0-1.
Hernandez is hitting .226 this season, but 5 of her 14 hits have been for extra bases. She does have good power. But a base hit right now would be 2 runs for the Cougars and give them a lead.
0-1 sent high and foul. Left side 0-2 for the former Aurora Grande High School Eagles. Again, Cougars getting a golden opportunity this inning. Again, they've had runners in scoring position every prior inning. 0-2, and Hernandez fights it off. McNamee, ready, 0-2. And that is called strike 3. Hernandez knew, and she will walk away. So McNamee bouncing back after the bases loaded with nobody out, striking out Gonzalez and Hernandez. And it's now going to fall to Mariah Solis. Solis grounded to second, then a base hit to start the 5th, and then had Sandoval come in and run for her. First pitch, McNamee's going after it. It's a strike. Solis waits the 0-1. It's low. It bounces. It gets away. Here comes Hood coming to the plate. They have no play, and the Cougars tie it up. Hood was primed to go. The other 2 runners advanced. Scott running for Donnell is over at third. Arnold up to second base. So first base opened with 2 outs. 2 in scoring position. So things set up here for Solis to give the Cougars the lead. 1-1. Foul back into the screen. 1-2. So McNamee getting the advantage. But we're back to a tie ball game.
Yeah, I imagine these two have had some opportunity to see each other before. Solis out of Aurora Grande and McNamee out of Cabrillo down in Lompoc.
One-two. We're going to check, and they're 2-2, and you would figure with all the travel ball and all the other over the years in the area, you know, certainly if you're playing in the 5 states, you're going to see the Lompoc teams just in youth softball. I think they're probably real familiar with each other. Just a guess. 2-2 hit high over on the right side, and it is going to be pulled in out of our field of view by Sorensen for the 3rd out. The Cougars get runners to the corners with nobody out, only able to get 1, but that is the one that's going to tie the game going into the 7th inning. So we're going to move to the last scheduled inning. Tie ball game with Santa Barbara coming up. It's 1-1, Cuesta and Santa Barbara City on Cuesta TV. Santa Barbara City put a run across, and then the Cougars scoring on a wild pitch as Amy Hood came in from third base. So as we go to the 7th and final scheduled inning, it's a 1-1 game. We will go now to the designated player hitting in the 6th position. That's Lindsey King, who has popped out to short and walked. Demi Donnell has gone the entire way for the Cougars. Starts off outside with ball 1.
Yeah, both teams have had a lot of opportunities to score. Cougars have stranded 7 base runners in the first 6 innings and had a lot of them sitting there at third base, and 4 for the Vaqueros. Most of them are getting on early in the innings and not just getting around.
2-0. In fact, in the early part of the game, the Cougars had 3 doubles, 2 of them which were leadoff doubles. And actually, and with that, the Cougars were still unable to score any runs within that, leaving somebody in every inning as this ripped foul by King 2-1. She showed in the last at-bat she can spray it all over the place. So Donnell toes the rubber. Looking into Gonzalez and ready to deliver 2-1, high 3-1.
Again, the last couple innings, Donnell's going deeper in the count than she had been all earlier in the game.
And will take it high and give up her 3rd walk. Something really unusual too, that she's had some strikeouts, the 3 walks, 1 each in the last few innings. But you look for the season, her strikeout to walk ratio, as I know as you, the stat keeper, are very familiar with this, 137 strikeouts to 21 walks. That's better than a 6-to-1 ratio.
Almost 7-to-1 right there. Is she only allows one walk per 7 innings per game, and 3 so far in this crucial game.
The bunt, she's going to come off the hill, throw over to first, and the sacrifice will work. In fact, it's going to get away from Solis, and King's going to be able to advance all the way over to third. So similar to what happened with the Cougars last half inning, in that you had a sacrifice, or again, a chance to advance a runner, really, in this case, where the throw mishandled results in a 2-base error, and that's going to allow King over at third. Over at first now, Sorensen is aboard, and again, similar situation to what the Cougars had in the bottom of the 6th. Runners to the corners and nobody out, bringing up Hope Ballard in the 8th spot. Left-handed hitting left fielder looks at a pitch, and that's going to be low for ball 1 as they will eye Sorensen over at first base, but again, they may try and send her in order to allow King to come home, or perhaps stall things long enough to enable her to. 1-0 is going to roll in, but Gonzalez is on it, 2-0. Ballard waits. 2-0 sent over the screen. Falls behind us 2-1. Donnell runners at the corners. Tie ball game, top of the 7th. And a 2-1 coming to Ballard. Foul back to the screen, evens it up 2-2.
Donnell's feeling that she's getting the calls in the corner.
Yeah, meanwhile,
she blew that one past Ballard.
Meanwhile, designated player Rebecca Hernandez heading back to the bullpen, where we'd seen her earlier, 2-2. And that one's going to roll low for a full count.
The Carroll dugout getting a little animated here as they're
big on the softball chanting thing. Full count, and this one's going to be lifted just foul down the first baseline. That had dropped fair. That was going to be pretty damaging for the Cougars, but instead stays full count for Ballard, who is 0 for 1 with a sacrifice today against Donnell. Donnell with another full count delivery, was low. Ballard fights it off. Another pitch sent back to the screen. King reached on a walk, and then Sorensen on her sacrifice attempt to throw got away from Solis, and that allowed Sorensen to be safe and King to advance to third. Full count again. This one is going to be lifted softly, and that one will drop in to right field. Not in time to get a play at first base. King will score, and the Vaqueros retake the lead 2-1. RBI base hit by Hope Ballard of Santa Barbara City. Sorensen advances to second.
Just enough right there to get it on the outfield grass and base hit.
Now at the plate,
Bottom of the order, Maggie Jackson, another left-handed swinger, right fielder, who is 0 for 2, is popped back to the circle and flied out to right. First pitch is a strike. (2-1) Santa Barbara City College. All the scoring in this game has happened in the last 2 innings. And not delivered. Both runners caught hanging off, but get back. 0-2. Donnell's 0-2. Playing it safe, going away from Ballard. 1-2. One-two delivery. Hit high, and coming in our general vicinity. And, almost a nice play made in the second row. Rolled off the screen. And the ball will be retrieved by Mr. Everything, Tom again.
Tommy's going to have his work cut out for him. He's got the call up.
He got some help.
There you go.
You look at all the fields on the sporting event and say, man, those fields look nice. That's Tommy. 1-2 pitch is hit high, and that is going to go off the wall in right center field. Arnold has it. 1 run coming across. Here comes the second run. They're going to try for a play at third, and it's safe. It is a 2-run triple as Maggie Jackson blows things open for Santa Barbara and pushes it out to a 4-1 lead in the 7th.
And still nobody out. And the top of the order.
Yeah, and again, that was kind of going perpendicular to the wind. That one carried for a moment. I thought that might have a chance to get out of here, and then ended up coming off the fence as Donnell has given up 3 in this inning. Top of the order, due up next with Sydney Towns. Meanwhile, we have a Mount Conference for the Cougars that is now dispersed. Towns has struck out, fouled out to left, and then popped out to third.
now batting center fielder Sydney Towns.
So again, no scoring until late. Santa Barbara with 1 last inning, followed by 1 in the bottom of the 6th by the Cougars, and now 3. And as Pete mentioned, nobody out here in the 7th. As Donnell goes away and gets it 0-1. So Hernandez is still in the pen, so it could be called upon. Strike 0-2 as Jackson, the lone base runner after her 2-run triple over at third. (0-2) hit over to short. Nice backhand play by Ibarra. And going over to first base, but unfortunately the throw was a little bit offline and pulled Solis off the bat. Jackson comes across to score and make it 5-1. So Towns
Now at the plate, Alyssa Ray Jewell.
is now going to be aboard. Alyssa Ray Jewell, who is the 6th hitter of the inning, has popped out, doubled, and then walked and scored the first vaquero run in the 6th inning. Donnell, a strike. 0-1. Strike 2. Donello still looking for her first out. We've had a walk, an error, a single, a triple, then another error. 0-2 on over to second base, and that one, that's going to be the third error as Hood had it and then didn't. Towns to second, Jewel aboard at first. Nobody out. Monica Salas next up. RBI double last inning.
Now batting Monica Salas.
Five-one game, and Salas sends this one high, relatively deep to left. But Kuhnhofer Sanchez has it. That's going to be the first out. Tagging up and trying to go to third, and doubled up is going to be Towns on a nice throw from Kuhnhofer Sanchez. Curry tags her out. Cougars pick up 2 quickly. So they get a 7-5 there for the double play. And Crystal Vieira, 8th hitter of the inning. Third baseman, 1 for 3, is stepping in with a runner at second. 2 down and a foul ball on the left side.
Cougars trying to get their 6th out of the inning.
Makes it tougher with those extra outs.
Yeah. Jackson's triple off the wall really changed the face of the game a little bit.
0-1 and throw back to Donnell.
But it's the first time this game today that anybody's really been able to cash in on their base runners big time. And that's a big inning right here. So hopefully the Cougars can come back and do the same thing in their bottom half.
We'll see. This one is lifted high, and Kuhnhofer Sanchez, whether that was going to be foul or not, really not in question. Pulling in another putout. Great range there to end the inning, but the damage has been done. 4 runs across for Santa Barbara City to break the tie. The Cougars have to get it done in the bottom of the 7th. They need at least 4. We'll be back with the bottom of the 7th after this on Cuesta TV. Bottom of the 7th, and the Cougars need to dig out of a hole in a hurry after giving up 4 runs in the top part of the inning. They're facing Madison McNamee, who is the top pitcher for Santa Barbara, came in relief of Pullen in the 5th inning and starts off with a ball to Cassie Kuhnhofer Sanchez. We saw him make a couple nice defensive plays in the top part of this inning. The left fielder hitting at the bottom of the order, and the count at 1-1, although it was, as Pete put it, a 6-out inning as the Cougars committing 3 errors. And that big triple also by Ballard as a chopper's going to go foul. Kuhnhofer Sanchez will head back with a 1-2 count. Cougars did pick up that run last inning. They had stranded 1 in each of the previous 5 innings. As McNamee back in and ready to deliver the 1-2. It's going to be wrapped solidly over to second. Jewel on over to first to Sorensen, and Kuhnhofer Sanchez down to start the Cuesta 7th inning. Back to the top of the order, and San Luis High's Sabina Ibarra, a double, and then a strikeout in the first at-bat where she faced McNamee. The 2 doubles came against Pullen, so she will face McNamee for the first time. Freshman shortstop swings and misses 0-1. Again, final home game today for Cheyenne Hofstetler, Amy Hood, and Kiana Arnold, all in the starting lineup today. 1 down in the 7th, and Ibarra waits for the 0-1 from McNamee. Another swing and a miss, 0-2. Going up there trying to make something happen.
And she got to lay off that rise ball. That's what McNamee got her on there last time at bat. Staying something in that zone.
Barra back in and ready. 0-2 pitch. Off speed is going to be hit on over to third. Vieira has it over across to Sorensen, and the Vaqueros are 1 out away. With 2 down in the 7th, it is the sophomore right fielder Cheyenne Hofstetler
shy.
pair of strikeouts and a fly out to left against McNamee last time. 5-1 Vaqueros. As this one sent away for a strike, 0-1. Real tight battle. And then all of a sudden the offense started in the 6th inning. Cougars matching the run, but then things falling apart a bit in the the top of the 7th as this is hit high. And a play almost made from Sorensen. I think a little miscommunication. Both she and Salas were right there on the ball.
A bit of
I got it,
you go.
No, you got it, right? I thought you had it. I was sure you had it.
Keeps Huff still alive and the game alive for the Cougars here.
That's right. 0-2, McNamee trying to close it out. This one popped high on the left side and pulled in by Vieira, and the Cougars will go down in order in the bottom of the 7th as Santa Barbara gets the win and the tiebreaker over the Cougars with a 5-1 win. That sends Santa Barbara to 26-9, 10-4. That puts them, I believe, a half game behind Moore Park pending their result in the Western State Conference Gold. That's
Cougars
right.
Move into 3rd.
That's right, at 9-4 and 22-10 overall. So, Pete, as far as the Cougars were concerned, got off to a good start, some good early pitching from Donnell, but Santa Barbara really kind of came after it and blew it open in the 7th.
We saw that early in the game where they didn't convert their sacrifice opportunities and try to move the runner over to 3rd base. And the chances were there, but it came down to that 7th inning with the errors and the Santa Barbara taking the opportunity to get the runs in when they get the chance.
And as you mentioned, Santa Barbara now moves ahead of the Cougars into 2nd place. Again, top 2 automatically qualify for the playoffs. So the Cougars, though, have their work cut out for them. They've got a couple non-conference games and then 5 final conference games all on the road to finish the year.
They have those 2 games against Ventura, which are going to be important, and they're going to need Ventura to help them out because I believe Ventura also gets an opportunity to play Moore Park. So the Cougars need a little help from down the road from the Western State Conference, but still in the mix for things.
All right. Well, again, we'd like to thank Pete Schuler for joining us. I'm Randy Scoville. Also, a big shout out to the Cuesta Broadcast Communications students, led by John Arno, for today's production. Final score from Cuesta Field: the Cougars fall in softball to Santa Barbara City, 5-1. You've been watching Cuesta TV.